Navy Secret Space Fleet, Solar Warden, Hacking and Disclose UFOs Cosmic Top Secret. U.S. foreign policy is akin to government-sponsored terrorism these days. It was not a mistake that there was a huge security stand-down on September 11 last year. I am solo. I will continue to disrupt at the highest levels. Gary McKinnon. The British Systems Administrator Gary McKinnon, who gained access to 97 U.S. military and NASA websites in the early 2000s, has become a UFO-fold hero of sorts. He intended to find top-secret files regarding free energy but stumbled upon something much bigger. McKinnon claimed to have uncovered a spreadsheet containing names and information about non-terrestrial officers and transfers between fleets. He cross-referenced these names with a database of all U.S. Navy and military personnel but was unable to find any of the officers. McKinnon therefore concluded they were not of this world and labeled them as Space Marines. It was not long before he was caught. After admitting his actions, McKinnon was originally given a 6-month community service penalty in his home country. This ballooned into a 60 to 70 years prison sentence, and millions of dollars in fines if he would be extradited to USA, but extradition was eventually denied by the UK. We're reaching the point where the Earth will have to end the burden we've placed on her, if we don't lift the burden ourselves. Dr. Stephen M. Greer, The Disclosure Project. Musical artists Sir Bob Geldof, David Gilmour, and Chrissie Hynde have recorded music to prevent the extradition of McKinnon to the USA. An undisclosed military source reportedly said that they were concerned about what else McKinnon might have seen in his wanderings around the world's worst-kept secret, but maybe has not yet disclosed or divulged to WikiLeaks. This begs the question: why pursue this man with such a heavy hand who fell for a hoax, set up for some reason on unsecured military computers if there are no such things as UFOs? I knew that governments suppressed anti-gravity, UFO-related technologies, free energy, or what they call zero-point energy. This should not be kept hidden from the public when pensioners can't pay their fuel bills. Gary McKinnon. McKinnon had heard that the Johnson Space Center Building 8 had people erasing, airbrushing, and manipulating evidence of UFOs from high-resolution satellite images. He found his way into the computers at Building 8, and located the file folders. They were named RAW and edited, and he was able to download large images in NASA's proprietary graphic format. He saw a large cigar-shaped object with geodesic domes at its ends, with no sign of riveting or other manufacturing. The photo was apparently taken from satellite looking down onto the alien object. Was it our, or theirs? He was disconnected before he could save the image, and Gary was subsequently tracked down and arrested by the British High-Tech Crime Unit. Although threatened with no extradition, in reality he did them a favor by showing how pitiful their security systems were. He also did the rest of us a favor. He exposed U.S. Navy Space Command's Solar Warden program. It is clear now that NASA can be seen as merely cover for real space program. Many questions remain in the UFO controversy. Scientists ask how interstellar pilots could survive a trip of hundreds of years, while cutting-edge physicists offer speculation of deep space wormholes, and the use of zero-point energy. For now, we could not do any better than to study magic eyes only, and read the accounts of UFO crash retrievals, and ponder what a reality that includes diverse intelligent life outside of our planet might mean for us, and future generations. Jim Marrs, American former newspaper journalist, and New York Times best-selling author of books and articles. How would U.S. citizens react to the knowledge that tens of trillions of dollars have been spent on unauthorized, secret, and unconstitutional projects over the decades? And that these taxpayer dollars have been used by corporate partners, in total secrecy, to develop spin-off technologies, based on ET objects which were later patented, and used highly profitable technologies? There is no doubt in my mind, after 37 years of study and investigation, that the evidence is overwhelming that planet Earth is being visited by intelligently controlled vehicles whose origin is extraterrestrial. There are no acceptable arguments against flying saucer reality, only people who either haven't studied the relevant data or have a strong will not to believe that Earth is at the bottom of the heap sociologically and technologically in our local galactic neighborhood. Stanton T. Friedman. Not only have the taxpayers been defrauded, they also paid a premium for such breakthroughs which were the results of research funded by their tax dollars. Advanced technologies which have been identified from the study of these anti-gravity vehicles, once disclosed, will replace the currently used for of energy generation on propulsion. Fossil fuels, nuclear energy, and airplane transportation will become obsolete. Free energy technologies will enable the Earth to attain a sustainable civilization without operational. They developed within super-secret, unacknowledged special access projects. In short, the definitive solution to the world's energy, pollution, and poverty problems exists within compartmentalized projects that need a planned disclosure, and relevant legislation. The program controlling these issues continue to operate outside of legally required congressional oversight. Even recent presidents have been left out of the loop, deliberately deceived, and denied full access. Therefore, urgent action is needed on the part of Congress, the White House, and other institutions to obtain the necessary oversight and control of these operations to ensure that these now classified technologies are announced for world cooperative energy generation and propulsion. Let there be no doubt. Alien technology harvested from the infamous saucer crash in Roswell, New Mexico, in July 1947, led directly to the development of the integrated circuit chip, laser, and fiber optic technologies, particle beams, electromagnetic propulsion systems, depleted uranium projectiles, stealth capabilities, and many others. How do I know? I was in charge. A matter of public record. I think the kids on this planet are wise to the truth, and I think we ought to give it to them. I think they deserve it. Philip J. Corso. The secrecy is about much more than an exotic propulsion system back-engineered from flying saucer. It is about the control of energy production. Fuel is something that just about everyone in the world needs. Because the military-industrial extraterrestrial complex controls these discoveries, and because if their error that resulted in abductions and potential displacement of humanity by hybrids, this remains the most secret information on the planet. This controller elite includes terrestrial governments, including members of the executive, legislative, and judicial branches in the USA, media organizations, influential international organizations, and military and intelligence organizations that may be populated by hybrid clones, or implanted humans under the command and control of the reptilian faction whose intent may be to take over the Earth. And they know we the people are powerless to stop, or that believe we are. Who could possibly believe this most esoteric of all claims? And what is it that they possess that the controllers want more than anything? When I learned that aliens really do exist, I wasn't too surprised. But what did shock me when I started investigating extraterrestrial reports a decade ago is the extent to which the proof has been hushed up. It isn't just the US government which has kept quiet about alien visits. It would be arrogant of an American like myself to assume that ETs would only choose to visit my country. Indeed, I've heard convincing stories about governments all over the world that know of alien visits, including the British government. Edgar Mitchell, a United States Navy officer and aviator, test pilot, aeronautical engineer, and NASA astronaut,